Tomorrow is World Music Day. It started in France and it's called Fête de la Musique. Hope I said that right. And the painting today is, of course, of an older man playing guitar by the river. That's how I imagined that I would be when I became an older man. And I am an older man now. And I don't play the guitar by the river. But tomorrow is World Music Day. And there are a few rivers around here that I could go to. Maybe I should get my guitar. Maybe I should invite Robin. And the two of us can go play by the river. She can play her mandolin. And maybe I'll play the guitar. Or the accordion. That's an idea too. It's World Music Day. It's not World Guitar Day. You can play anything. A kazoo. You could sing. You could have a vocal group, like a quartet. Just a singing quartet. You know, like the Backstreet Boys or something like that. Or what do you call those things? Barbershop quartet. Or what are the girls called? Sweet Adelines. You could be a Sweet Adeline group playing someplace. Looks like my battery is almost dead, so I better stop talking. Alright, let me show you how I painted today's picture for World Music Day. Right now. Good morning. Okay, let's see how this one is going to come out. You can see my palette is, I do not have the canvas painted today. It's just the white canvas. I do think the manufacturer puts gesso on it first. So it probably has a slight, layer of gesso. But I didn't put anything on it yet. So I have white and raw sienna, raw umber, Payne's gray, yellow ochre, and orange. I know that's a weird palette, right? I'm going to try to do this. I'm not sure how to do this exactly. So I'm going to just start with some orange in the sky, I guess. Tomorrow, June 21st, is World Music Day. I just thought I would do something for World Music Day. And the idea is to be very, very loose and very, very, I don't know if you want to say artsy, but that's kind of my idea here. And orange, this shade of orange especially, is what I absolutely use a lot in the underpainting. But in today's case, I'm not really using it as an underpainting. I'm just using it as part of the painting because I didn't do an underpainting today. So we'll see how this works out. Yeah, tomorrow is Fête de la Musique, which is French for, I guess it means World Music Day. I don't speak French, but I know in English they're calling it World Music Day. So I think in France, or in French, Fête de la Musique means World Music Day. You can tell me if I'm wrong. I'm not really sure. But anyway, I think the idea is, if you're a musician, tomorrow, Saturday, June 21st, is to find a public place and take your instrument and go play. Go play someplace. And just let the music happen. So, not really sure if I'm doing this the way I really want to. I'm kind of experimenting here a little bit with these colors. Just making the sky. I know the sky isn't really orange, but well, sometimes it is, right? I'm going to use a lot of white in there, I think. A lot of white and a lot of this yellow ochre. just keep doing it until I get it looking the way I want it to look. And yes, I do want to do it in pastel. Very thick paint, kind of an idea. See the white? I'm going to probably need more white on my palette. But. So what musical instrument do you play, if any? I know a lot of musicians are also artists, and vice versa. I know a lot of artists who, even famous artists, find themselves doing music, and famous musicians find themselves doing art. It just seems to be part of the way God made us. Does that make sense? Well, to me it does. I don't know. We all have our own different beliefs. But there's something about music that's in public, in live music out in the open. I'm just playing here. I don't even know what I'm doing here. I'm trying to lay down some basic shapes here and see if I like the way it comes out. One thing I've been doing the last couple of days, which has nothing to do with what I've talked about so far, but one thing I've been doing is I found these old photographs, these old slides actually, and I used to have a slide projector, and I used to take pictures with a 35mm camera, and a lot of the pictures are of people that I've known, of course, and everybody's so young compared to how they look now, including myself, of course. Just we all got old. We all got old. And you know, I've said this before, that I may look better in those pictures, but I think I am better now. I'm happier, and I'm more sure of who I am, and maybe that says something. If you're a young person, just stick it out. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Just keep going one day at a time. I think you'll find when you get all of a sudden you'll be older. And I know you don't like to think of yourself as older, but the world makes it seem that being old is a bad thing. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not such a bad thing. You know? Sure, you're closer to death, yes. Like, I know that's hard to hear. And maybe everybody who's older wishes they weren't so close to death. And maybe those people don't even like those words. Oh, I'm not close to death. But, you know, statistically you are. I am. I'm 70. Statistically, I am closer to death than I've ever been. And you never know, one day at a time. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what God wants. You never know what the world's developments. Maybe there's a new medical development that makes you young again. Who knows? But I think what happens is, and what I'm really focusing on is how life becomes more your own. You know, when you're younger, let's hope if you're young you have total control of your life. I don't think I did. Not really. I mean, I had bosses and parents, of course, and those are good things to have. They help guide you. They help put you where you need to be. You know? But you can only do so much, right? And if you're trying to become something, an actress or a musician, and it's one of those fields of employment that is considered difficult to get into, Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. Don't tell yourself you can't do it. You know, I've said before, you can do anything. And the truth is, maybe you can do anything, but that doesn't mean you can get paid at everything. And getting paid is important in this world, let's face it. You know, you have to have money. I mean, my car needed repairs. How was I going to repair them without money? You know, it's just the way the world is. At least the Western world, at least where I live. They call it the Western world. I'm sure it's no different in the Eastern world. From what I can tell, everybody's driving cars, everybody's riding bicycles, everybody's out there doing stuff. I wonder if I need to add a little bit of green to this. Or gray. I'm just trying to make that sky as bright as possible. Everything is background right here. More brown. A little bit more brown. I call raw umber. I call it brown. It's easy. It's easier for me to just say brown. Fête de la Musique, World Music Day. That's tomorrow. That's the painting today. I know you can't tell yet, but that's what it is. That's the plan. That's the plan, Stan. Make a new plan, Stan. Wouldn't that be cool if you were like in New York City and you saw Paul Simon doing international or World Music Day, just walking around with his guitar? Wouldn't that be awesome? I was a big Paul Simon fan when I was younger. I still am. I hear his songs in my head all the time. Yeah, I do. Make a new plan, Stan. There we go. I think that yellow ochre is working nicely in the background here. Let me add some more to it. Just a very subtle lightness happening there. Make a new plan, Stan. I don't remember the words anymore. That's all I hear in my head. Yeah, so I've been finding these old pictures of myself and people I knew, my family, and some of them are no longer alive. In fact, I'm going to say a lot of them are no longer alive. I almost said most of them. I don't know that it's true that it's most of them. But a lot of them are gone. A lot of them are gone. And I shared some of the pictures that I found on social media, Facebook and places like that, with the people who they are, the pictures are of. And there's one musician I know, he's a bass player and a drummer. And I sent him the pictures. And I think he was happy to see them, to be honest. I don't think he realized. Because way back when, this is ancient history, but I used to play in studios because I was a songwriter. And so I would have musicians play to help me out with the recordings. He was one of them. Yeah, he probably didn't realize there were so many pictures being taken back then. We had photographers that hung out with us. That's where they came from. Everybody was an amateur, though. The musicians. I mean, that doesn't mean we weren't good. It just means we weren't getting paid. The photographers weren't getting paid. The musicians weren't getting paid. Well, some of them did. Some of them I had to pay some of them. The studio owner, in some cases, paid the musicians. Those are the days, man. If I brag about it, then I'm doing the thing a lot of old people do. You should have seen me back then. You should have known what life was like for me. No, I wasn't special. I wasn't special. I'm not special. I'm just Poppa. I'm just painting. I'm encouraging you to do whatever it is that you do, you know? Don't ever stop doing what you do. Alright, let's get some of this white down here. Get this white all over the place here. It looks almost gray, doesn't it? It's kind of a big brush. That's alright, we're gonna add shadows to that in a little bit. Reflections and stuff. I'm gonna need more white. More cowbell. I'm gonna need more cowbell. Just scrub it in there. Spread it around. Make a new plan, Stan. Huh. Oops. That's kind of the look I want. It's impasto and it's also dry brush. So right now it's more dry brush than impasto, I think. Just an interesting palette, an interesting choice of colors. I think sometimes is just a luck of the draw, kind of, if you know what I mean. Just you're not sure exactly what colors to use. If you want to do something different than the normal saturated colors, do something a little different. All right, now let me get let me continue this a little bit. Get some darker. Some trees poking their leaves out of the edge here. There. Get some dark over here too. There we go. Let's try to get this guitar player in here now. Let's keep working on this, see if we can get this to looking like a guy. See if we can get this. Still using this one brush. Sitting by the river playing the guitar. That looks like a guy playing a guitar, I think. What do you think? He's got another hand that you can't see. Yeah, I think that looks alright. I don't know what he's sitting on exactly, but he's sitting someplace like that. Alright. Now I can make this water look a lot better, but right now I just want to make him look better. So let me use a different brush. I'm just looking for a small brush. Yeah, I got one. Alright, now let me take this color here, this yellow ochre, and put some light on his nose and his face. Some of his hair being lit. white on the palette. Kind of white right there. Maybe even a little white right there. Alright, we get this guitar looking a little bit more like a guitar. Yeah, that looks alright. Maybe he needs a little bit more of a shoulder there. Maybe it goes back a little bit farther. Didn't quite do his anatomy correct. There we go. He's kind of unkempt anyway, don't you think? Alright, now let's I mean, the painting itself is just the composition is pretty much done, but I want to make some more like little leaves here, little grass growing up in front of him. Just little strands of grass. Boy, it makes me want to pick up a guitar and go play someplace. I'm being influenced by my own painting. I'm not really using the Payne's Gray that much this time. Usually I use it a lot, but this time I'm not. I'm using the raw umber mostly. I would say that's the primary color in this painting is the raw umber. Yesterday, Rob and I went to an Italian restaurant. I got spaghetti. I don't know why I was craving spaghetti, I just was. Every once in a while you just have you crave something, right? You just crave. Yeah, I was craving spaghetti. I didn't really crave meatballs, but I got them anyway. So, and she got stuffed shells. It's funny, we've gone to Italian restaurants so many times, and every time we go, Robin always says she wants to get stuffed shells, and probably because of me, we always got pizza. But I didn't want to get a pizza yesterday. I just felt like a spaghetti. I know. Yeah. We put lots of leaves on here. Lots of little weeds coming up. No real color in this painting. This is kind of a monotone painting. I guess it's the feeling I wanted. I guess this is what I wanted it to feel like. to be like this. Right now what I want to do is I want to sharpen some of those edges on the water. So let's see. Not sure how to do this exactly. We get a different brush. Let me try this brush. This might be a good brush to use here. think that one thing the little area around his finger is a little bit weird looking. Probably should be more. Alright, I think I'm done. I think that's the painting for Fête de la Musique, World Music Day, tomorrow, June 21st. So go get your musical instrument of choice, whether it's your voice, or your kazoo, or your trombone, or your guitar. Go play someplace. Alright, I'll talk to you later. Bye.